Welcome to the aftermath, let it glow. No time to waste, let it go. Chase positive vibes.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Hey, I'm about to do this video. This person is local in my area. They're in Greenville, South Carolina, but it became viral all for the wrong reasons. And I seen this person at my gym very often, but I haven't seen them lately. But his body is insane, killer body. But you never know what people are going through, what they do outside the gym. But we're about to check this out. So let's get it, let's go, and leave commentary below. All right, let's go.
She hit me that night. I made her do it. Yeah. I made her do it. Every time she would go to swing, I would lean my face into
That's
the
dude that goes to my gym.
My ex-girlfriend is taking me to court. Okay, I think this is a restraining order.
Today's Yap session is about a TikToker by the name of Nick Harris. Nick is a 31-year-old man from Greenville, South Carolina, and he pretty much just lives off of TikTok, which means all of his income is from TikTok. Nick kind of built up his own personal little fan base that lasted over a couple of years now. But I don't know if you could really call any of them real, because since Nick lives off of TikTok, he pretty much documented his whole life on it, including the parts of his life where he was just an awful human being. Not saying that he isn't anymore, because he definitely is. A little backstory on Nick is that he's a recovering addict, but the recovering part is here and there. He's also stolen from his own family and then tried to blackmail his own mother, and he's a mass manipulator, with multiple arrests for DV. Nick's villain arc, if you even want to call it that, started with his family mostly. Nick hasn't really had a great relationship with his family, and he would frequently go on live just to talk them, pretty much. And like I've mentioned, he's even tried to blackmail his own mother.
Because from what I've been hearing, when I would do some research, they say he was a narcissist. He doesn't take accountability. He manipulates a lot. He doesn't have a job. All he does is beg on TikTok and things of that sort. But I just never would have thought somebody of this caliber would be in the same setting as you are. It's just shocking to what you learn about people in your local area. Let's go.
Please. I need $1,000 if you want to see me this year, Mom. And if you want me to answer the phone to tell you Merry Christmas, I need you to cash at me $250. That's just for the phone call. I'm so serious.
Nick seems to love talking about his family issues a lot on his live stream that Nick was doing, so she hopped in his live chat and started to expose him. What his sister had to say was that he was just lying about absolutely everything that he was saying on his live stream, and then she said, "What about when we were little? You put hands on us too," which means his sister is saying that when Nick was little, he hit his sister, and not in some playful manner that kids would do. And now this seems like a good time to bring up some not so good things that Nick did. And I'm talking about his 35 arrests, which he bragged about at one point.
Do you know how many times I've been arrested in my life? Like 35 times. Like 35 times across 6 different states with 4 felony convictions, and I just came home from prison. You hate me yet?
Yeah, and assault, and 3 being drugs. Not including the 2 other DV charges that he got this year, which I'm not surprised about because there's been a lot of insane shit recently going on with him and his girlfriend. Him and his girlfriend, who I'll be calling M, are in an extremely toxic relationship with each other, which has led to some pretty crazy moments. Even the first video that introduced me to Nick Harris was when he posted himself with massive black eyes. There's actually multiple videos of him with black eyes, and he claims that they're all from his girlfriend. But if you look further into Nick as a person, apparently he has manic episodes sometimes. And because of these episodes, people think that Nick could possibly be doing this to himself. And after Nick does this to himself, he emotionally abuses M into thinking that she did it, and just puts the blame on her for pretty much everything. But I definitely do think myself that M has put hands on Nick, because there is multiple videos out there of her admitting to hitting Nick. But there's also videos out there of Nick admitting that he made M hit him, but he still blames her for it.
Yeah.
But the thing is when she hit me that night, I made
pause
her
right here.
do it.
And now that I think about it, as this is going, he used to be hanging around with. I used to be him and 2 other girls, and one was like a large built woman. She had like colored hair, and he used to hang out at 10 Star Lobby. Him, her, and another person, if I'm remembering correctly. But we'll continue and see you. We'll see.
I made her do it. Every time she would go to swing, I would lean my face into the licks. Every time she would go to swing, I'm leaning my face into the licks because I'm tired of it. I like, okay, my mental health has to be important too. Everybody else's needs is getting taken care of. When are my needs?
I honestly think it could be either things happening, because Nick is definitely that insane to do something like that. Especially because he has a past of addiction and he's still struggling with it. But at the same time, his girlfriend is also an extremely toxic person. Something else that could prove that Nick is doing this to himself is whenever he posts pictures of the aftermath, he's always smiling or laughing in the pictures with his face pretty much demolished. And if someone was in an actual abuse situation like this, they wouldn't be smiling in the pictures. Unless you're literally insane and doing it to yourself, like Nick could be doing. And I'm not saying that M has absolutely no reason to hit Nick, because he'll bring her on live and then berate her for like 30 minutes straight in front of people. So if it is M, Nick doesn't exactly not deserve it.
To maintain stability, to still, despite all that, okay, we relapsed together. I relapsed a million times. Let's just get back on the horse. Let's just get back to work and just like, all right, just cool. We just don't use. You see? I have been trying to lead, and have you been very enthusiastic about letting me lead? No.
We talk about today.
Let's talk about today. All right. So today, we're in a situation to where if you and I don't both have employments in the next couple of days, there's no way that us being together can work.
Oh, I know. I've been filling out applications since
So,
yesterday. I've been doing it
Will you
all day
listen?
today.
Will you listen to me for a second? So
It's the weekend. I'm not going to get a job. I'm waiting for calls back on Monday. I'm trying.
okay.
I was trying over at the last location also.
And that wasn't.
I got a call back, but it was too far to travel. I've got multiple calls back. I'm trying.
Okay.
Okay.
So if somebody out of the chat gives you a job, are you gonna go
Of
to
course
work?
I'm going to go to work.
Okay. All right. You don't drink anymore, right?
No, I do not drink anymore.
Care of you and love on you.
But right now, you're literally just beating down on me.
I'm not
I feel
beating
like,
down on
if
you.
we could just talk about a plan instead of constantly bringing up the past.
I don't know why Nick sits there and critiques her until she almost cries and then doesn't expect her to respond in some kind of way, if it's even M doing it. And when M does end up responding, he'll bring her on live and start telling her how she'll never find another man that she'll be able to beat like that with no repercussions.
I don't know, not gonna
I don't
try.
think you're ever gonna find a man. I don't think that you're ever gonna find a man that you can brutally assault, who's not going to hit you back, that is going to love you and treat you like it never happened every day. I don't think you can. I don't think you can find another Nicholas.
I'm watching it with y'all. This is a shock to me, so I'm just.
I don't think
watching
anybody
as y'all are taking it
is
all
ever
in,
going to
'cause
find another.
Nick has gotten tired of M's quote-unquote abuse several times, which made him try and move away.
I am leaving and I'm moving to Maine.
The first person he tried to move in with was a guy named Jeff, and Jeff was on live talking about why he gave him an opportunity. And while on live, Jeff didn't sound very enthusiastic about Nick living there. I know I wouldn't be happy if Nick Harris was trying to live with me.
So I guess the question is, you guys keep asking me this question of, like, why I am giving him an opportunity. So I guess right back at you, like, why didn't you give him a chance or slash opportunity or slash like a chance?
And the reason he's doing it is because M needs help that he can't give her, acting like Nick himself doesn't need more help than M does. Nick never ended up actually living with Jeff because Jeff was on a live with these people that started to tell Jeff about how Nick really was, and they eventually convinced Jeff to not let Nick stay at his place, which was a really good choice.
Police. You don't need police at your door because Nick's called and falsely accused you of this and that. He's falsely accused men of SA, of sexual assault, before, when they haven't done anything, and then he's admitted after for doing it. Like you are opening yourself to a world that you don't want to be in. And I can't tell you what to do, but as hard as it is, I would tell Nick to turn his ass around and go back to where he came from, because you are going to regret this in a couple weeks.
Not even a day later, he was back on the bus going back to his girlfriend. And since he was going back to M, he set some ground rules, like not being able to be on TikTok around her, which didn't last very long.
So here's some new rules, guys. I'm not going to be doing TikTok around. There's going to be no more TikTok lives around. There's going to be no more making her be on camera. Nope. So if you guys want me, you can have me.
But on to the next horrible thing that Nick did, which was body shaming multiple women, which he seemed to love doing. Because looking at this list, there seems to be a lot of instances where he does this. One more known instance of this is when he body shamed a girl named Technical Moon, because he did it 4 times on 4 different lives. I'm assuming that Technical Moon wasn't on Nick's side and she was trying to expose him for being the horrible person that he is, which really motivated Nick to get back at her. If that doesn't scream insecure, I don't know what does. The first instance of him body shaming Technical Moon was actually posted to Instagram for whatever reason, probably because he didn't want to make it as public as his TikTok was, because he knows he's shit talking somebody else for no reason, and it would end up making him look very bad, which it did anyway because Nick's a dumbass.
I'm such a sweet person. I don't want to be like y'all. I don't want to be negative like y'all. I don't want to hate people like you guys do. I don't want to hate myself like you guys do. And I'm not going to. I'm not like you. I'm gonna keep being happy.
A couple of the other instances was just him yapping on live, but it was clearly about Technical Moon, so I'm not going to show you those ones. The one that I will be showing you is way more obvious that he is body shaming Technical Moon and even one of his other friends, he said.
Oh, they're not just pretty cool. They are the coolest. Hey guys, would you like to see? So chat, this is Technical Moon, yes, the person that commented, a beautiful queen that used to be my bestie.
I knew I recognized some girls. I knew it.
She's gorgeous, I know. And this is our bestie, Maggie Jones. I have been good friends with both of these young ladies for a hot minute. Well, Technical Moon got a little crush on old Nicholas here, and Maggie got a little crush on old Jonathan. As you guys know, me and Sean Baer here are complete gentlemen, okay? There hasn't, and nor will there ever be a time where we were rude to people simply based on the way that they look.
Nick hasn't only been fat phobic, because somebody that went on his live that you guys might recognize, and it's kinda funny to see her again in my opinion, but that's Linda Binda. If you don't recognize Linda, she's pretty much the gatekeeper of a pedophile named Jupiter, which is somebody I made a video on over a year ago now. And when Linda was in Nick's live, he started to be subtly transphobic towards her.
Discuss it if you don't want to.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, Jessica, I appreciate the heads up. I'm fully aware. I'm fully aware. I'm not delusional and I'm not naive.
Aware about what?
Miss Linda.
That is it for today. There's only so much I can take. But hey, leave the comments below, and buddy, we are out.